TRX, we start with 1 hour chart. Okay, as you can see, when we have been reading this move, we expected to look for buy after the breakout of this trend line. And when the price was here within this move, we mentioned that any breakout of the top, which we were talking was here, with the correction, we can look for buy. This is the only option was to look for buy. If anyone could take the buy right now, I think they should start to manage it. Okay, what we want to see, I mean, if you want to look for the next, we want to see whether it is a correction for one more drop or not. Okay, because as we can see, the price have broke this top. Okay, first of all, we refer to higher time frame. We see how we can trade it. We see what's the changes. Okay, based on daily chart, we get this down move. This is a correction. We want to see whether this one can be turned to a correction for one more drop or the continuation. This is what we can see from here. Okay, but if we move to lower time frame based on forward chart, first of all, we can see the price broke the top, which was 0.05. Okay, and now we want to see whether this is a start of the up move or we can expect for the one more drop, because when the price was here within this move, we mentioned maybe we get the one more drop. This one turned to a bigger correction, but now as we can see, there was a continuation and the price broke this top. Now what we can expect, I mean, one of the options is still valid. Maybe the next move can retest this low, but first of all, we think that we go with this option that this one can turn to a big correction. One more drop, that means give us a correction similar to what we have here. Then from there, when the price, if the price move, break the top, then from there we see whether this one is a correction in relative to this for one more drop or not. And if we get any drop, we are not going to expect to retest this low anymore. I mean here. Okay, that's mean from now mostly whatever we get is a correction similar to what we have here on continuation. But again, we need to be aware about this possibility. Why? If we get any buy we see is not moving, we should know how to manage it. If we put the line here, it is not helpful anymore. Okay, because the way it's correcting, we expect this one for the continuation with a correction similar to any of this. But right now we're looking at this whether we can get that one move down as a running flat with a continuation with this. Okay, in this case we move to lower time frame. We see how we can trade it. Okay, if we move to lower time frame, again, as we can see, the price broke the top, which is here. Okay, and if we were looking for buy, this is where we could get the buy just now we mentioned. And if we put this one in relative to this, if we move to this, we see the divergence is losing. Okay, but the MACD doesn't show us anything. It's a different thing. That's mean we have two different results right now. That's why this is the start of the up move, but any drop will be a bigger correction, and the price to drop retest this low, may we get that one, because in that case we are putting this one in relative to this. Now the only question is, if we call this one as an internal correction for continuation, maybe we can expect the price to drop, but we don't expect the price to retest this low, because this one will be turned to a running flat. Running flat cannot retest the low unless we see some changes. That means if this one give a sharp flag, we can look for sell. Okay, by the way, right now we don't have any sell setup or any buy setup. What we expect, we can expect the price to drop a bit more, whether relative to this or this, for next up move. That means if we get any sell, we consider as a short term, and right now we don't have any sell setup. Even for me, if I want to sell, if we put our line here, okay, I think it's not really good to put the line here, but it's better we remove it, because what we have is quite sharp. And if we want to sell, I prefer this one continue, give a correction with the breakout of this low, which is, if I remove everything, 0.047 or 48. Then from there we look for sell. Okay, that means we need to get the continuation correction for sell, and the target will be when the price come to this low, which is 0.045. We start to manage, because as I mentioned, even if we get any down move to retest this low, is mostly maybe it cannot retest. Okay, because if we putting as a running flat, we can expect the drop, then reversal. By the way, we don't have any trade setup for sell. We want to see how this one can behave for the continuation. And even for buy, we cannot buy right now. The only things you can buy when this one turn to a bigger flat for one more wall. Or if we get the drop, at least the breakout of this, then from there we can look for um, buy. Okay, but just now we mentioned if the price come here, how we can look for sell. If the price drop, give a correction for sell, then we can look for sell. We don't need to look for buy. But if the price drop, then we see the reversal, see the flag, then we can look for buy. This is what we can see right now, because rather than that, we don't have anything. Similar to what we have here. Every time the price broke the previous high, drop. Previous high, drop. Broke, drop. This is how it's moving. It's a corrective move. And if we move to 15 minutes, all right, we have nothing to talk. The only things whether this one can give us one move up. All right, that's mean we don't have really good trade setup. In this case, we just follow the chart, and the way it's moving is really. I mean, we cannot get a really good trade. Okay, in this case, we just follow the chart. If I see any changes or any trade setup, I will share. Anyway, we don't need to jump into the trade, whether for buy or sell, because we don't have trade setup. In this case, if I see any update, I will share. Thanks.